All right, so today, don't talk with your hands. Let's move on with that. So today is January the 5th, and I am in one of my journals. I'm just going to read a little snippet. I'm looking at the timer. So we're just going to do little small clips, rewind, replay. All right, so on this one, we're starting at Ezekiel 18:20. The soul who sins shall die. The son shall not suffer for the iniquity of the father, nor the father suffer from the iniquity of the son. The righteous shall be upon himself, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon himself. This refers to not having to take on your parents' sins. Now, I wrote this for 18/20/23. That is out of the book of Ezekiel 18:20, and that's when that was written down. And now we are on 1/25/2025, and this is not 120. Today is January the 5th, 2025, and that was wrote for 18/20/23. And so now it is translated on this day that the soul who sins shall die. So meaning that enlightenment, that environment, that parent, that could be a forefather, anything that you have set above yourself, because we all know that wherever God puts you, that the anointing flows from the head down. So if you have a parent above you, a certain rule that you follow that is placed above, and then everything underneath that rule, once you're underneath it, it should flow if you're following within that rule. So with that being said, knowing that God places you in the environments, if you are underneath the wrong parents, and these parents can be anything, they don't have to literally be your mom and dad as a parent, but it can be things that we adapt into our life. So I can make my school, like if I played basketball and that was my sport, but I set that goal really high, it then becomes apparent to me because I'm following all the rules, I'm doing everything that it takes to uphold this. So it is then parenting me, it is setting values for me, it is teaching me the game, I'm following its rule, doing the exercises that I need to do to be the best student of this thing that I have placed above, and I want everything to flow down. So that's what we connect to parents. And sometimes these things can be our flesh desires, the buildup of our person, the embodiment, the just literally just trying to build up a person. And with that being said, if it's okay, again, the soul who sins shall die. So whenever this thing is no longer an enlightenment for you, whatever this goal was, if it's no longer shining for you, because we know a soul is literally an energy source. So if this thing is not giving you the energy you need to survive in such an environment where God has placed you, then that needs to die, and the new needs to come. And now we always say die or rest, whichever one you choose to do. You don't have to go around killing everything that no longer serves you, but you can just put it to rest, and maybe it may be revived later on, who knows. But the soul who sins shall die. So literally, is if that is not serving you anymore, then it needs to be put to rest or die. The son shall not suffer for the iniquity. Meaning, if there was any like whatever you set your goal as, and then it flows and it's working. If there was any like bad spots in there that you was unaware of, but you was still following this because it was working for you, and you was unaware of the weakness in it. Maybe you didn't have no balance in it, or maybe you was putting too much in it and other things in your life was weakening. Then maybe you need to put that to rest because you've had built it as far as it can go. So now the new needs to come in so that you can continue to grow, because that is no longer serving you as a um, as a purpose, because it no longer serves you. I'm gonna say it's purpose, but it no longer serves you because you've maxed out at it. So now you're at a liaison, like you're just this. There's no this. So then you have to let that subside. But you will not suffer for those iniquities, because those was the unknown. But once it has been enlightened to you and you know that this type of government, and I say government because it's a range over. So once you're underneath a house, you follow those rules of the house. So those are your parents. Those guidelines are literally your parents. And so once those parents are not serving you anymore, which was the makeup of the embodiment, you no longer have to serve that purpose. You now have a new energy source that's going to be showing you the way. So the soul who sins shall die. The son shall not suffer from the iniquity of the father, nor the father suffer for the iniquity of the son. The righteous shall be upon himself, meaning no matter the error in it and no matter the goodness in it, you're going to learn from both. Both sides is going to learn from each other. So there is no wrong answer because both sides are learning. If they're paying attention, both sides will be learning. And if they're not paying attention, God will allow the cycle to continue until it can be broken. And it may not be in that generation. It may be in the next generation or the next generation or the next generation. But however, he will break the cycle and they will learn from each other. And then there will be a new one that starts. But it's a new learning thing. So you will have range over that. And then he'll put you in a range of a new thing, whichever generation it falls on. And then it's supposed to just get better and better in time. In God's timing. The righteous shall be upon himself. Like I said, the righteous will always reign, as it always does. And the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon himself, which means the wrong will know that it's wrong. You will realize that, oh, that wickedness was wicked, that didn't serve no purpose at this time, and it didn't do nothing but cause me turmoil. So that ain't gonna work underneath this governor, underneath this rule. That we can't play by that rule. So I need something new, a new enlightenment. The burden will be lifted as that no longer serves a purpose, and then you get something that is enlightened, and it will lighten the load. You will be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. This refers to not having to take on the parent sins. This can be the governing the house that you were brought underneath. You will not have to carry those things because you will realize, oh, this is not for me. I understand why I had to go through it because it taught me who I am and what I'm not. And now that I know that I don't really agree with this, but I agree with that, now I gotta choose and make this decision. But what was not for me and what was meant to be a learning lesson will not be cast down upon me as this burden that I have to carry, because at the end of the day I will realize and God will give me understanding that it was for purpose and it was for me to learn. And then that's it. And then today is just as soul tells me, this is translated to the flesh desires. Whatever you've been taught, it could be old doctrine. It could have gotten so big to where it does become a flesh desire, but God will let the light shine on that iniquity, and you will not be charged for that. You will be set free, and you will have full understanding, and you won't have to carry that cross.